Whoa. Why y'all so happy?
You don't know? Sharvette Mitchell is on the radio.
It's time to get motivated, excited, and influenced. Why? It's the Sharvette Mitchell Radio Show, live from Richmond, Virginia. And now, here to motivate, excite, and influence you, Sharvette Mitchell.
Well, hello, everyone, and welcome to the Sharvette Mitchell Radio Show, broadcasted from the capital city of Richmond, Virginia. But listen, heard all across the World Wide Web. OMG. Let me tell you, I am tickled pink right now. I'm tickled pink, as my auntie from Milledgeville, Georgia would say. This is a special segment. I am doing a special new artist spotlight with a friend, with a sister, and I'm telling you what, I am excited to present her to my listening audience because I'm telling you what, if you don't know her, you will swiftly know about this dynamic young lady hanging out with me. Listen, she's chilling out in the virtual green room right now. I'm bringing her up to the mic shortly. I have Allison Lilly joining me today. Her long-awaited debut single dropped today, and we were able to grab her during all of this celebration time so that you all can hear from her. And we're going to let you hear the single later on in the show. And so certainly Allison, born here in Richmond, Virginia, represents Richmond, Virginia well. Her gift, listen, she's been singing since she was born, I'm going to just say. She comes from a family of singers, of praisers, of songwriters, of artists. She has had the opportunity to be a background singer for several notable artists. You all know Mary and Ruben Studdard, Fantasia, and many, many others. And she has released her single, Before the Rainbow. And we're going to talk to you all about it again. Welcome to the Sharvette Mitchell Radio Show. If you're just tuning in, great. We want you to hang out with us. Listen, jump on Twitter, tell them what you're listening to. Jump on Facebook, tell them what you're listening to. If you're on Sharvette.com, thank you so much for joining us. Those that are listening in from my mobile app, we say, hey, thank you, too, for joining us. All right, so let's jump right on in. Again, I'm bringing Allison up to the mic right now. New Artist Spotlight. Hello, Allison. Welcome to the show.
Hello, Sharvette Mitchell Radio Show and our listeners. How's everybody doing?
Woohoo! We are doing awesome. We are so excited for what God is doing for you and your music ministry. And how does it feel? How do you feel? Your new single is out today. What does it feel like?
Oh, my gosh. It feels like, oh, my gosh, like I can't believe it. I am, like my son said, I am just too hyped right now. And just excited about what God is doing. You know, it's been such a long time, but I am just excited, Sharvette. I am just excited.
Well, we are excited with you. The world is excited with you. Richmond is excited with you. You posted early on Facebook, and just the responses are continuing to come in, about this leap of faith and this next step in your music ministry. But I want to back up a little bit just for our listeners that may be new to you, haven't heard about you. I want to give them a little bit of background. So let's chat about when you first discovered that you had a gift to sing. When was that? When was the first time you remember that?
Yes. Well, the first time I remembered it, it was I had to be about 9, 10 years old, maybe Harold and I, about 9, 10 years old. And, because we grew up in such a musical home, and my mother sung and she sung, and, Harold sung and I sung, and, my aunt sung. I mean, everybody sung, Sharvette.
Yes.
We sang at the church. I mean, everybody that I knew could sing, so I didn't realize it was a gift and that that it was something special that everybody else couldn't do until one night. I don't know if you remember this, but Harold and I sang at Jerusalem. We went to 12th and Stockton, and he and I did a duet called Lord Give Me Wings. Do you remember that?
Yes.
That was the night, Sharvette, that I remember, like, hey, this is something special, because I remember thinking within myself, Harold and I, we were just kind of playing around. We were just kind of joking,
Uh-huh.
But we saw, the expression of the people and the response and how the people were praising and just glorifying God. So I remember in that moment thinking, hey, this is something special. oh, okay, I just figure out what this is. And then my mother, of course, she began to tell us, you have a gift. What you can do, what God has given you, everyone else can't do. So I would say around about 10 years old that night is when I recognized it was something special from God.
Wow. And certainly we give a shout-out to your twin brother, Harold Lilly Jr., a Grammy Award-winning songwriter, producer. We give you a big shout-out as well out there. So how did you, after you realized, okay, this is a gift, this is not something that just everybody can do you feel like you began to cultivate it, or did it just naturally grow from there?
You know what? It just naturally grew from there. I think then I was too young to understand, appreciate it or even realize that it was a gift to be cultivated. I just knew that it was something special, But Sharvette, I was afraid to sing, and you couldn't pay me to sing. I didn't want to sing. I knew I had a gift, but singing in front of people just terrified me. So, we would sing at home. We would sing in the choir, but I remember I was 18 years old, and Bishop Rudy Brown, now, we would have that Holy Spirit conference or kind of workshop we would have. Music and art. You remember that? Music and art?
Yes.
And I remember I was 18 years old, and Bishop Rudy talked me into singing a song called All Things Work Together. I was 18, and I did it, and that night, it was just like something within me, like, I'm going to sing. The fear broke off me that night.
Yeah. Wow. Big shout out to Bishop James Rudy Brown, who helped ignite that. It helped ignite that. But I certainly want to shout out your mother, who, a live-in singing mentor, a live-in singing coach and vocalist and vocal teacher. Talk about how she influenced your music ministry and helped to cultivate it.
Oh, my Ruthie, Mama Lily, my mother, right, I call her Ruthie. She has really been the one to kind of cultivate the music ministry, with just her being a praise and worship leader and just a Levite. She's really a chief Levite. And Sharvette, I remember her taking me and Harold to go, to her different singing engagements, and we would be going everywhere. We would be complaining. But I remember, we got to go somewhere else. Dang. She was always singing somewhere. But Mama Lily, she lived the life that she sung about in front of Harold and I. And I remember sitting in some of those services, seeing the response of the anointing. And I was thinking, gosh, I wonder what that's about. I wonder, do I have that? Because people would cry. I remember sitting there thinking that services couldn't go on, and there was just something so special on my mom. So she has really been a blessing to me. She is my greatest teacher. She is my teacher.
Oh, we love you, Mother Lily. We love you, Mama.
Mama Lily. We love you, Mama Lily. She really did cultivate us. Sharvette, she would get Harold and I in the living room, and she would get us to sing different things and, to kind of call and response. So she really had a hand in molding us into what we are today musically. Yeah, she did.
Absolutely. And so I can't leave out your father, the maestro. So talk about him.
Goodness.
Talk about him.
Look, we better not leave him out. Daddy Lily.
Yes.
Yes, Professor Lilly, my father, he has definitely had an impact on me as well with, having such a rich heritage. Here in the city, he's been playing in music ministry for 60 years, over 60 years now.
Wow.
Yes, and from that standpoint, he's taught me longevity and consistency in your music ministry. And Dad really does things in excellence. He's intentional about his gift. Like Sharvette, okay, today is June the 4th. For the rest of the month, my father probably has everything already planned and arranged. He, as far as music ministry with song selections, he's so disciplined, and my father has really taught me how to be disciplined in what God has given you and how to just appreciate the craft of it. It's not just a gift. You know what I mean? You know, how to just really appreciate and just be disciplined about what it is that you do and give God excellence. And my dad is a stickler on hymns. So I thank God, for my dad. He really shared with me the love and the importance of hymns. He called it, I know y'all got all this bebop out here now, but I don't want you to get he called it bebop.
Yeah.
Yes, and I said, yeah, Daddy, but it's great. He said, but I don't want you to get away from the heritage of hymns.
Yeah.
Because, you're going to get to one day in your life, you're going to need to reach back and pull out a hymn. So I thank God for my dad with regard to that. He has definitely molded us as well. And the gift, it came from my mom and my dad. I'm telling you, if it was not for my mom and my dad, I wouldn't have this gift. Harold and I, we wouldn't have it. It came from Mom and Dad, sure enough.
All right. We salute them. We salute them. Hey, guys, if you just tuned in, welcome. You're listening to the Sharvette Mitchell Radio Show. This is our special segment, New Artist Spotlight, with Richmond's own Allison Lilly. OMG, a single released today before the rainbow. Don't worry, we're going to play it later. You're going to get to hear it. You're going to get to hear it. All right, Allison, so time move on, and then you have the opportunity to actually sing background for Mary Mary. Now, this was before the reality show, but how did you get that connection, and what was that experience like?
Yes. Oh, my gosh, Sharvette. That experience was one I thank God for even up to this day. I remember Harold coming home when Harold started to work for EMI Music Publishing in his, early on in his career. And he had to move to L.A., and he spent some time in L.A., and maybe about a couple of years, maybe 3 years, he came home to visit, his first visit home from moving, being out there in L.A. And he said, Allison, what are we going to do tonight? And I said, well, me and Dion and Meredith, we got to sing at St. Paul's tonight. We're going to be opening up for Mary Mary, singing with the group 8am. And Harold said, oh, yeah, I know Erica and Tina. I work with their husband, Warren. I'm going to call them, see if they can come to the house. Maybe we can hang out. And I remember looking at him like, oh, no, daggone Erica and Tina.
Right, like, yeah, right, Harold.
Like, no, that, Harold. You just got to L.A. Get out of here. And Harold was like, Allison, for real. I'm like, no, like, I sung at their wedding. I just sung at their wedding. They're incredible people. They're like family. You're going to love them. And I remember thinking, for real, they're here. He said, are you sure they're here? I'm like, they're singing at St. Paul's tonight. Yes. I can't remember what year it was, but long story short, myself, Dion, and Meredith, we opened up for them at St. and Pastor Watson and Lady Rose Watson. They were so gracious to us. They allowed us to be a part of that. And sure enough, they were there. They sung. We opened up for them. God blessed us. And, after the show, Harold brought them back to the house. They came to the house. We ate. We fellowshipped. And we had such a beautiful time. And I remember Erica joking that night. She said, you guys sound amazing. She said, if I need you, I'm going to call you. We would love for you to sing with us. We all said, yeah, we kind of laughed it off. But, and they went home that night. But about 3.5 months later, I'll never forget it. Erica called me. I was at home. And where I used to live, 2807 Hawthorne, right? And I just got home from the salon because I was working in the salon then, and the phone rang, Sharvette, and it was Erica. So the phone rings, I say, hello, and the voice says, hey, how are you? And I said to Allison, I'm like, this is Allison. And she said, okay, this is Erica Campbell. How are you? And I'm a Mary Mary fan, so I'm like, I ain't no Erica Campbell.
Right.
And she said, yes, it is. Yes, it is. And I said, no, it's not. And she said, yes, it is. Remember, we came to the house and we ate dinner, and, your brother lives out here, and we love Harold, and he's a great producer. And I'm like, oh, my God, this is Erica, oh, my God. And she said, listen. And so I'm just screaming, going all off, because I'm like, that's ain't no Erica. It took her a minute to convince me. And I'm like, oh, my God. So she says, listen. We're getting ready to do some touring. We have some changes with some background singers. And, Harold told us to reach out to you, to give you a call. Maybe, your schedule will allow you to, work with us. And I'm like, oh, my God, of course my schedule allows me to work with you guys. Like,
right.
Yeah,
right. My schedule.
I'm like, oh, my God, I want to know that, Erica. And that is how it happened. And she said, okay, well, we're going to fly you out for some rehearsals, but, be listening to the material, because, we want you to know the material. And I was a Mary Mary fan. I already knew the record frontwards and backwards,
Wow.
I was super excited, and I remember hanging up the phone just thanking God, first of all, in unbelief, like, oh, my God, did this just happen? Erica Campbell did not just hang up the phone. I remember walking around, in the house, empty, Sharvette. Oh, my God, Erica did not just call me. I mean, if there was a video in the house, you would think she needs a blue pill. But I'm telling you, sitting here talking to you and just reminiscing about how God did it is just a reminder that you really don't need to go out and hunt and chase anything. What God has for you, Shar, it really is for you. And that is honestly how it happened. They flew me out. We had rehearsals, and that experience was so amazing. They were the first professional major artists that I had the opportunity to sing background for. And I thank God for Erica and Tina so much. They taught me so much. Those girls, first of all, they say they really do love God, for real.
Yes.
They love God. They're a great representation of Christian women. I hear a lot of people saying things. But, I had the opportunity to work with them. They really do honor God with their lifestyle. And in the professional arena, as it, occurs to them being professional women and artists, they strive and they present excellence. I remember, Sharvette, we would have 10-hour rehearsal days.
My
where we
God.
would run the show. Yes, they are your modern-day Maddie Moss Clarks. I mean, you know how Maddie Moss used to come and throw the shoe and, that's not what I taught you. That ain't what I taught you. Sing it again. And I remember having those 10-hour rehearsals, and Tina would sing it again. And, and it's because something that I love to do, we would just do it, and we would just do it. And they were women of excellence, and they taught me excellence, and they taught me work ethic. So to this day, I attribute work ethic and just learning all of the ropes and everything about the road and how to care, how to handle yourself. I attribute that to Mary. They taught me so much they taught me.
Wonderful. I wanted that behind the scenes, that behind the music piece. Thank you for certainly sharing that with us. Listeners, hey, we see you tuning in, coming in on the phone lines, coming in from Twitter, Facebook, Sharvette.com, a mobile app. Hey there, you're checking out a special segment of the Sharvette Mitchell Radio Show featuring Allison Lilly. Brand new single dropped today, and we're going to let you hear it before the rainbow in just a moment. Okay, so Allison, we fast forward, and now you have decided, okay, I am going to be an artist. I am going to put out my own music. Now, you've been doing music ministry, praise and worship, singing all over, flying all over your individual ministry. What was the catalyst that said, okay, this is the time for me to put out my own music?
Oh, my gosh, Sharvette. I struggle with this, and with what it is that you're saying for so many years, because it's like, how it's in you to do something, but just fear and, oh, no, what if I can't do it, and what if it's not good enough, and, ooh, what if I can't live up to it, and, what are people going to think, and I'm more comfortable in the background, But, Sharvette, God started to give me songs, Sharvette. I mean, just song after song after song. And it was always a dream of mine, and I would dream about it. And, really, at one point I gave up. I gave up on my dream. And I'm like, I'm not going to do it. I can't do it. I'm just not going to do it. Fear, different challenges, just really fear, the spirit of fear gripping me. Just the fear of what if I can't do it, or fear of the unknown, or, what if, just fear of just dumb stuff. And not really having faith, and what I know it was God told me. So even in giving up on it, Sharvette, I gave up on my dream. But I remember one day my dream didn't give up on me, and my dream started talking to me and telling me and reminding me, you have these songs. God has given you this sound, and you are to release it. And it just caught a hold to me again. And I started to believe it again and confess it again and sing the songs in the church that I go to. And so it happened for me a little bit over time. And being here with you, talking to you tonight. We're just out of the boat, honestly.
Yeah,
we're
wow.
Out of the boat.
Out of the boat. Okay, so I love that your dream started talking back to you. Like, oh no, you're not going to just leave me on the table. Oh no.
Yes. I left it. I'm like, you know what? I'm not doing it. I'm going to go to school. I'm going to school. I'm going to go another route. I'm going to go into this. I'm going to go into education. Oh, I look at being a teacher, because I am in education. I work with special ed children. I'll do that for a living. And I put my dream, my passion, what I knew I was created to do without even thinking of it. I would wake up with a song. I would go to sleep with a song. I would be cooking singing a song. And you're a singer-songwriter, when you can turn anything into a song. I would be having conversations, that would make a really good song. Or walk through the mall singing, a jingle and turning it into a song. Everything just turned into a song. It's always been a song since I was a little girl. So my dream started talking back to me, Sharvette, and it started to remind me. It did. It started to remind me, hey, we're still inside of you. I'm still lying dormant within you. And it just began to kick until I could not ignore it. I could not deny the fact that this is the time and the season to do this.
My God, I read a quote the other day by Maya Angelou that said, the need for change bulldozed a road down the center of my mind. Wow. And that just came back like your dream was like, oh, no, I'm taking over your mind. I'm reminding you that this has got to happen. Okay, so Before the Rainbow, you are a songwriter. You wrote this. Tell us how you put this song about, how you were inspired to write this.
Sharvette, honest story. I was in Nordstrom one day out here in Short Pump, minding my own business. I was on the top floor in the plus size. I'm like, minding my own business. Just going through, looking for something to wear to church or whatever, just enjoying my day. And Sharvette, I got a download in the middle of Nordstrom's. There has to be a mountain that you can climb. There has to be some hurt so you can heal. And it just started coming to me, Sharvette, the melody, the tune of it, and everything. And I remember running to my car because I didn't have my phone on me, and I'm like, oh, my God, I'm getting a download.
Yes.
I gotta go. I left Nordstrom's. What was in my hand, I left it there. I ran to my car. I cut my phone on, and I began to sing, the melody that God was giving me at that time. And I remember riding down Broad Street, past the Short Pump, and where the movie theater is, and more started to come to me. There has to be some rain before some rainbow. Before the rainbow. And I remember pulling over into the McDonald's to stop in the car. I'm like, I gotta stop the car because I want to be still so the rest of this can come. And I remember just getting it at McDonald's on Broad Street. And Sharvette, this, I got to confess to you, this was probably about 2011, 2012. So it just goes to show you how long I held it with the battle of fear. I'll do it, I won't do it. I'll do it, I won't do it. Maybe I can, maybe I can't. But I held it, Sharvette. And, I just held on to it. It was in a book. It was on some pages. But it just began to speak to me. I can't get away from that, how the song would sing itself to me. I used to sing it, when I first got it. And I thought, it's a pretty song. It's pretty, and everything in my life was going great. But sometimes God will give you something, drop something in your spirit for a later time.
Yes.
So since 2011 and 2012, I've lived out these lyrics. And I just believe and know that our listeners are going to find themselves in the lyric as well. And that's how God gave it. Honest to God, that's how he gave it to me.
My God, and then it started singing back to you. Listeners, Allison Lilly, Before the Rainbow. Okay, so before we play it, tell them how they can get a hold of it. How can they download it? How can they get this single?
Yes, you can get this single if you go to, if you're on Facebook, if you go to Allison Lilly, you can go right there and click on that link. There's my picture there, and then there are directions there, www.csn.org, and all of the directions to get the download are right there. You can go to Allison Lilly, or you can go to Allison Lilly Artist. You can get it at both pages, and the download and the directions to get the download is going to be right there. You just click the link, and it'll walk you right on through.
All right, there you have it. And I have tagged her several times on Facebook. So if you're saying, I can't find out, I don't know, just calm yourself because I know you're following me, Facebook.com/Sharvette.
Yes.
And I have tagged her public post so you'll be able to connect easily there. You can do all of your connection points right there. Well, Allison, I think this is a great opportunity to let the listeners hear Before the Rainbow so that they can hear your heart and hear the ministry that's coming through. Certainly you have an event actually tomorrow I want you to shout out. Would you like to talk about where you're going to be tomorrow here in the capital city?
Yes, ma'am. I'd love to talk about it. We are going to be at Abundant Life in Eastern Virginia. We're going to be supporting the cause for domestic violence. Our brother and our friend Van Boyd, another wonderful brother doing incredible things in the city of Richmond with Resound. Resound is going to be there, and Marcus D. Wiley is going to be there, and Dawn Shepard is going to be there. That service begins at 7 p.m., and we're going to be there just sharing and just giving an awareness about domestic violence. And we're just so excited. So for those of you all who want to come out and meet us tomorrow night at 7, meet us there.
All right, meet us there. Okay, Allison, well, it has been awesome featuring you, and certainly we're going to have you back because I know we need to talk more, and you've just got music ministry, and I think a lot to say, in particular on that, how you were able to beat that fear down to do this.
Sharvette.
Oh, my God. Yeah.
The fear, that, and it wasn't just regular fear. You know, Sharvette, the Bible says that after fear is done with us, then comes torment. So it's not only the spirit of fear. It was the fear of now, the fear of the unknown, the fear of what would be, of what wouldn't be. And it was a fawning fear. But, you know, God hasn't given us the spirit of fear, but of power, love, and a sound mind. And I just know that people are going to be blessed. I pray. It's a really simple song. It'll probably shock a lot of our listeners because, you know, we grew up churchy and, you know, we sing church stuff. But this is actually very simple, and I just pray that it bless our listeners.
And I believe that it will, absolutely. Listeners, again, this is Allison Lilly from Richmond, Virginia, Richmond's own first single, long-awaited, Before the Rainbow. Be on the lookout. Stay connected with her so you can keep up with where she's going to be and also what is coming next from her music ministry. And the Sharvette Mitchell Radio Show will continue to spotlight her and make sure that you know what's going on. All right, Allison, here we go. Before the Rainbow.
Sharvette.
You're welcome. All right, listeners. Before the Rainbow, Allison Lilly.
There has to be a mountain so you can climb. Yes, there has to be some hurt so you can heal. And there has to be a lonely place to feel the power of His grace. And there has to be some rain before your rainbow. Now you might even cry before you laugh. And yes, your heart might even break before joy comes. And there has to be and there has to be some rain before your rainbow. But if you can hold on tight, your joy will come. Now if you're gonna stand on the mountain, you must walk through the valley. And yes, there has to be some rain before your rainbow. Now your weeping might endure for a night. But if you hold on through the night, your joy will come. Now if you're gonna stand on the mountain, you must walk through the valley. And yes, there has to be some rain before the rainbow. And yes, there has to be some rain before the rainbow. Oh, keep hoping. 'Cause yes, there has to be some rain before the rainbow.
Ladies and gentlemen, Allison Lilly, Before the Rainbow. Ooh, wonderful, wonderful. Listen, jump over to Sharvette.com. Jump over to Sharvette.com. If you're listening from there, the link to purchase the single, you can get it right there. Jump over there. It's been great having Allison Lilly here to spotlight her, to feature her on the day of the single release, and we're going to keep our eye out and open for her. And we are out of time on this special segment here of the Sharvette Mitchell Radio Show. As always, follow me on Twitter. Connect with me on Facebook. I'll let you know what's coming up, what's going on in the world of media with artists, authors, and all that good stuff. I'll talk to you later.
Richmond, Virginia, you have been listening to the Sharvette Mitchell Radio Show. Connect with her at Sharvette.com. And until next week, stay motivated, excited, and influenced. The Sharvette Mitchell Radio Show. Signing off.